Picture this, it's 1980. The world is alive with the sound of arcade games, the scent of hairspray, and the sight of neon colors. We're stepping into a decade where politics and pop culture collide in an explosion of change. The Cold War is winding down, bringing a sigh of relief to many, while the political landscape shifts beneath our feet. In the realm of entertainment, pop culture is starting to reign supreme. We're seeing the birth of MTV, a game changer that would forever alter the way we consume music. Arcade games are popping up in every corner, Pac-Man fever is spreading, and suddenly, everyone's a gamer. Fashion? Oh, it's loud, it's colorful, it's like nothing we've seen before. Neon is the new black, and hairspray is practically a food group. In the midst of this vibrant era, teenagers found an identity all their own. Now let's continue our journey through this fascinating decade. The 80s gave birth to a new sound, a sound that defined a generation. Music in this vibrant decade was more than just rhythm and lyrics. It was the heartbeat of teenage life. Pop music exploded onto the scene, breaking all the rules and rewriting the soundtrack of youth. Artists like Michael Jackson moonwalked into our lives, leaving an indelible footprint on the sands of time. Madonna, the Material Girl, pushed boundaries and set the pace for female artists, while Prince redefined what it meant to be a music icon with his eclectic style and genre-bending sound. But what's a beat without its pulse, right? Enter the Walkman. This little gadget changed the game entirely, bringing the concert to the comfort of your pocket. Personal listening habits were revolutionized and music became an intimate experience. The sounds of the 80s were a mixtape of memories that played on repeat in the hearts of its teenagers. The 80s was not just a decade, it was a fashion statement. In this era of audacious style, found their voice through fashion. Shoulder pads, once confined to the boardroom, found their way into everyday wear, giving a power-packed look to even the simplest of outfits. Leg warmers, initially a necessity, danced their way into mainstream fashion, making a cozy yet chic statement. But what would the 80s be without its neon glow? These bright bold reflected the optimism and energy of the time, lighting up the fashion world with a rainbow of possibilities. Punk rock also left its mark, with ripped jeans and band tees becoming a rebellious uniform. Celebrities were not just stars, they were style icons influencing the wardrobe choices of young impressionables across the globe. And let's not forget the rise of brands like Levi's and Nike, which became synonymous with cool. The 80s fashion was bold, bright, and unapologetically unique, just like the teenagers who wore it. In the 80s, technology found its way into the hands of the everyday teenager. This was a time when the world was introduced to the wonders of personal computing. The Commodore 64 was not just a machine, it was a ticket to a world of endless possibilities, a world where creativity knew no bounds. Video game consoles, the Nintendo Entertainment System, began to find their way into living rooms, transforming the idea of home entertainment. The 80s also marked the advent of portable electronics. Walkmans made music a constant companion, turning every walk to school into a personal concert. These devices weren't just gadgets, they were extensions of identity, badges of tech-savvy coolness. These technologies did more than just entertain, they opened doors to new ways of learning, communicating, and exploring the world. The 80s marked the beginning of a digital revolution, one that would forever change the way teenagers lived, learned, and played. The 80s may be over, but its influence is far from forgotten. This was a decade that truly made its mark, leaving an enduring legacy that still resonates today. The 80s weren't just about neon colors, big hair, and shoulder pads. It was a time of creativity, innovation, and expression that lives on in the hearts and minds of those who experienced it. Take a look around, you'll see the revival of 80s fashion trends on every high street. The influence of 80s music is unmistakable in the sounds of many modern artists whose synth-pop beats and power ballads owe much to the decade. And let's not forget the continued popularity of 80s technology in retro gaming and computing. The 80s were a decade of pioneering spirit, and that spirit that continues to inspire and influence us today. The 80s created a timeless blueprint, not only the teenagers of then, also the generations to come.